To Bob Tyler, an attorney. Bob Tyler, tell us your story.
Well, I'll tell you about this case. You know, first of all, it's so important to understand that the move against us as Christians is there's an attempt by the homosexual lobby to not only censor us but to suppress our free exercise of religion. And it's so evident in this case where we have two physicians. Many of you know about this, where they were sued by a lesbian woman. This is our case. We went all the way to the California Supreme Court, and the issue is whether or not the lesbian woman's rights, based upon the California Unruh Civil Rights Act that supposedly prevent discrimination, whether they trump the religious liberty of these two physicians. This case is so significant. The California Supreme Court came back and said that the religious liberty based upon the First Amendment of the United States Constitution is trumped by this lesbian woman's right not to be discriminated against, which is based upon state law. It's just incredible.
I was in an interview with an individual, and I referenced the fact that a professional cannot, based upon this case, a professional cannot refuse services in spite of their own religious convictions. And she said, well, I said that could apply to doctors, which it does in this case, and to pastors. Whereupon she says, well, certainly not the pastors. You have right of free expression, First Amendment. I said, no, I also offer services. They're called weddings. And if I cannot refuse on the basis of religious convictions to provide services, I could be forced, and someday will, if Proposition 8 does not pass, someday will be forced to do this.
That's right. It applies. This case, this decision is one of the most significant decisions in the country after the same-sex marriage decision. It's so important. Please pray for it. But it goes far beyond just physicians practicing in medicine. It goes to ministers. It goes to whether or not our rights to free exercise will trump the homosexuals' attempt to take away our tax-exempt status. It goes so far beyond, and it applies to every one of you in this room and everyone listening. It goes to all of your professions and all of your businesses.
Chuck Lemandry, you have another case. Talk to us about that one.
Happy to do so, Pastor Jim. I have the privilege of representing 4 courageous Christian firefighters who were ordered against their will last year to be in the San Diego Gay Pride Parade. Thank you very much. And they've stood up to the city of San Diego so that this won't happen to any other San Diego firefighters in the future. They were, during the course of the 3-hour parade, subjected to literally dozens of sexually harassing comments and lewd gestures and public nudity and things that I just don't want to mention in this context in any detail, but it was terrible for them, particularly as family men with kids. So they filed a sexual harassment case against the city. They also filed the First Amendment action for free speech, because under our state constitution you can't be compelled to speak, and being in a parade is considered a form of expressive conduct which should be protected speech. On the sexual harassment case, which was tried to a jury earlier this month, we got 8 out of 12 votes on the regular jury plus all 3 alternates, but we needed 9 votes on the regular jury, so we're going to retry that case in January, 1 vote short. We're very confident we're going to win next time. The 8 jurors in the majority told us some of the minor points the dissenters were focusing on, and again, we're confident we're going to prevail. On the free speech claim, the judge ruled because my clients are government employees, they don't have the same constitutional protection as everybody else, and that their personal religious beliefs, and there was a lot of anti-religious comments and sentiments in the parade and demonstrations, and of course a lot of people promoting same-sex marriage in the parade they didn't agree with. Nonetheless, the judge ruled that's just their personal opinions. It's not a matter of public interest. It's not constitutionally protected. Now, that decision applies to any government employee in the state of California. They can be ordered into a gay pride parade or any other political event that they don't agree with. So we're confident that's going to be overturned. We're appealing that. We think we're going to end up with some good law favoring the religious community by the time we're done with that. So keep us in your prayers, please.
What did it cost the 2 doctors to try to defend their rights?
You know, at this point in time, what the doctors are facing, we're hoping that the U.S. Supreme Court will take the case. Should we lose, these doctors could be facing well over $1 million in attorney's fees. And tell me if that's not persecution.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, well, since we went through a full trial and had dozens of depositions and such, the legal fee is over $900,000. The actual cost my firm has advanced has been close to $100,000. We're talking about $1 million in fees and costs so far.
This is what happens when same-sex marriage becomes legal. A lot of us become illegal. Thank you. Let's hear another story.